Welcome to day 2 of our CT review. Question 1 says, look at the graph and answer the following questions. So part A is asking, what is the slope? Well, we can look at the graph, and often a good spot to start is the y-intercept. So let's just start from here, and let's count up the number of spaces in the rise and the number of spaces in the run until we reach a nice even point. So this is 3 over 1. So that'll give us a slope of 3. Pick the coordinates of any point on the line. Well, 1, -1 seems as good as any. The y-intercept, as we've said already, is -4. And once we have the slope and the y-intercept, we can state our equation as y equals 3x minus 4. Determine the slope of the line modeled by the table. Show your work. Well, our first table of values, our first pair, is 0, 4. Because this x value is 0, we know that our y-intercept is going to be 4. Also, since we have 2 points, we have enough information to figure out what our slope is. So we'll plug the values into our slope formula, and we'll come up with a value of -3 for the slope. And as stated before, we know what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is the y value when x is 0. So we have a y-intercept, we have a slope, we have enough information to write our equation y equals -3x plus 4. For the line described by the equation y equals -2/3 x plus 1, we have a bunch of questions. So first of all, we're asked, what is the rise? Then we're asked, what is the run? Basically, what we're being asked is, what is the slope? Because the slope is the rise over the run. Well, if you look up here, you can see that the rise is -2 and the run is 3. So we can just write in those values. This b value right here tells us that the y-intercept is 1. So now we have enough information to graph our line. So generally, it's a good idea to start at the y-intercept. We'll count down -2 because we have a rise of -2, and then over 3 because that's our run. Plot a coordinate point there, connect the 2 points, and there's our graph. Which of the lines in the graph below has a negative slope, a 0 slope, positive slope, undefined, and slope greater than 1? Well, 4 is our negative slope. 2 is our 0 slope. It's a flat line. C, 5, is our positive slope. This line right here. Our undefined slope is 3, this vertical line, and a slope greater than 1 is 1 right here. A very steep line. Find the slope and y-intercept of the following lines. Well, if we're given the equation, it's just simply a matter of reading the values from the equation. The slope is whatever the coefficient in front of the x is here. So the slope's going to be -2/3, sorry. And the y-intercept is simply going to be the b value. Over here, our slope will be 1/5, and our y-intercept will be 3. Six, determine the slope, y-intercept, and equation of the line shown in each graph. Well, our slope is rise over run. So what we'll do is we have 2 points right here. These 2 points fall nicely and evenly on a coordinate. So all we need to do is find out what the rise is and the run. So the rise is 1, 2, 3, and the run is 1. So our slope is 3 over 1, that's 3. Our y-intercept, right here where it crosses the y-axis, is -2. So the equation of the line will be y equals 3x minus 2. In this one, again, let's start at the y-intercept and count the number of squares or units of the rise and the run. So we start with a rise of -1, followed by a run of 2, giving us a slope of -1/2. Our y-intercept is right here, is 1. Therefore, the equation of our line is going to be y equals -1/2 x plus 1. Determine the slope intercept form of the equation 2x plus 4y minus 20 equals 0. Well, right now, it's not given to us in slope-intercept form. It's given to us in standard form. So we have to rearrange this a little bit. So 4y equals -2x plus 20. We've isolated the y on one side and put the x value on the other, but we still have to isolate y a little bit more. So we do that by dividing by 4. We want separate fractions for each one of these terms. So we'll divide each of these 2 terms by 4, and that'll give us an equation of y equals -1/2 x plus 5. Using the line y equals 2/3 x plus 6, what is the slope of a line that is parallel to this line? Well, if it's parallel, that means it has the same slope. So whatever equation we choose to write, it has to have a slope of 2/3 x. Doesn't matter what the y-intercept is, but the slope must be 2/3 x. What is the equation of a line with a steeper slope? As long as this number right here is larger than this number, then we can be assured that it will be a steeper slope. Calculate the slope of the line from 2 coordinates, 5, 0 and 9, 8. So we can use this equation y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to determine what the slope is. Here's our y1, here's our y2. So y2 minus y1 will be 8 minus 0, and x2 minus x1 will be 9 minus 5, and that simplifies to a slope of 2. Now, if we substitute the values from the first coordinate into y equals mx plus b, so what we're doing is we're taking this x value and this y value, and we're going to take this slope and we're going to plug it into this equation, and that will let us know what the value of b is. So y is 0, The slope is 2, x is 5, and we're solving for b. This gives us a value of -10 for b. We know the y-intercept, we know the slope. Now we can write an equation. Y equals 2x minus 10. Determine the equation of a line that has a slope of 1/3 and passes through the point 0, -6. Well, using the equation y equals mx plus b, we can take what we know and solve for b. We're told what m is, and in order to write an equation, we need to know what m and b are. So we're told what m is. We can use this point for the values of y and x, and we have enough information to solve for b. So let's take what we know, plug it into this equation. Gives us -6 equals 1/3 times 0 plus b. Solving for b, we end up with a value of -6. So we know the y-intercept. We're told what the slope is. We can write our equation. Y equals 1/3 x minus 6. Complete the table of values for the linear equation y equals -2x plus 4. Well, we simply take these x values, we plug it into this equation, and that will give us the y value, and then we'll have an xy coordinate pair. Sub in 0 gives us our next pair. Sub in 1 gives us our next pair. Sub in 2 gives us our next pair. And if we wanted to graph them, we could plot the points and draw a line through them to give us our graph.